Yo, all right, y'all know what it is, baby. Mic check, 1 2 1 2, mic check, 1 2 1 2. What is good? What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, you know who I be. Good Dr. Mike TV, back again, once again. You already know what it is, baby. Instant classic in the making. If this is your first time too, that's my TV channel to the channel, excuse me, or video or live stream. Please welcome yourselves by subscribing, notifying, and doing all the beautiful things to make yourself well versed in the good dust content. All of my good shit description area below. On this beautiful Sunday evening, official time check 8:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which makes it about what 7:34 Central, which makes it roughly about 5:34 for everybody repping that West Coast, and of course, 9:34 a.m. Philippine Standard Time, wherever you guys are important in the world today. But salamat salahat, and thank you guys for joining the good doc on what is poised to be a very interesting live stream today. I know the doc's coming on roughly about 30 minutes earlier than my normal time. Usually I'm on about 9 p.m. But wanted to go ahead and clear this one, get it out the way so that you guys can enjoy the remaining parts of your evening. All right? Don't put them on a pedestal, ladies and gentlemen. Keep them on a step stool. I repeat, do not. It's considered bawal in the Philippines and also bawal amongst foreigners to ever put them on a pedestal, ladies and gentlemen. We got to keep them on the step stool. Earlier today, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to have a little bit of fun with you guys. I put up a short. The short video was a question asked to me, fielded by the audience. Question was, once you go Filipina, you never go back. I repeat, the question earlier today was, is it true that once you go Filipina, you never go back? Again, only having 1 minute to answer that question, I answered it to the best of my abilities. Yes, I understand, gentlemen, that you're going to have some people that are going to say, nah, man, it should be the foreigner the other way around. It's not so much once you go Filipino, you never go back, and this, that, and the other. There's always going to be people who are going to have differing opinions about certain questions that I ask. But through it all, ladies and gentlemen, I've tried my best to make the content consistent. Ladies and gentlemen, I have tried my darndest to make the content consistent. And throughout the test of time, you can go all the way back to 2017. Well, 2017 when I first started my channel. If there's one thing that I have always tried to preach, and I think any man on earth at this particular moment right now is preaching the same mantra amongst men, even when it comes to Filipinas, you have got to try your best not to inflate or to put people on pedestals, making them feel as if they are holier than thou. As a matter of fact, that was the title of a particular video I put out roughly about, it might even been this last year, might even been last year. Filipinos are not holier than that. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I love my Asian women, right? You, if you ask who in the audience loves Asian women, Doc's hand will probably always be the first to go up in the air. I can't help it. I do. I tell everybody all the time, yo, I like Asian women. I think Asian women are hella attractive. But does that mean that I do not find Latino women attractive? No. Does that mean that I do not find African women attractive? Absolutely not. Does that mean that I do not find, women from European descent attractive? Absolutely not. But what it does mean is that depending on who you are, who you put in front of me, there might be a level of attraction or something that I find attractive about them. I even joke around with you guys often, man. Guys have a tendency, and I know I'm fucking with y'all, but y'all gotta agree with me on this one. Y'all probably not gonna agree with me on this one, but most of y'all may agree, some of y'all may disagree, but y'all may have remembered me saying this before. But guys have a tendency to find something attractive about the girl, even if she ain't really all that attractive. She may have a busted grill, but damn, she got some pretty eyes though, right? She may have some fucked up feet, but she got some pretty ears and some shit. So some guys, not y'all particularly, but some guys have a tendency to justify some of the reasons why they may find a young lady to be cute and attractive. in their own opinion. But I do believe, and this may be a stretch of the imagination for some guys, and it may be hard for some guys to fathom and or wrap their minds around this particular topic of conversation. But I have noticed that a lot of guys, and I've said this in videos before, but a lot of guys will allow their Asian woman or their foreign woman, we'll just use foreign women for the sake of the conversation, to somewhat get away with things that they would not let their Western woman get away with. Right? Some guys have a tendency to justify the actions of their foreign woman, but they would not justify those same acts if it was a Western woman doing the exact same thing. Sometimes they'd be like, man, I can't stand these Asian women. Man, I'm not Asian, I'm sorry. I can't stand these women in the West, bro. They always doing this, man. They always doing that, man. They always cutting up. All this attitude and shit. All this attitude and shit. I can't deal with these bitches like this, man. They always cutting up. But yet and still, you'll let your Filipina give you a full tempo moment and you'll justify it like, ah, man, that's just the Philippine way, bro. That's just what Filipinos do, bro. It's temple. It's a part of the culture. It's okay. And again, that's a loose example, but at least I hope you guys are able to pick up what I'm putting down. Am I saying specifically you, as the individual, is allowing this shit to happen? Absolutely not. But what I will say is I have noticed this particular, situation somewhat flaring up in some foreigner and their foreign woman relationships. You will somewhat justify and or allow some women to get away with shit that you would not let your women in the West get away with. So when I say, gentlemen, that you got to stop putting them up on a pedestal, it's not so much that you're praising them or you're just, oh my God, look at my goddess or whatever the fuck. It could also be represented in the form of allowing women to get away with shit that you would not let other women get away with. And if there's something that I want y'all to hear me, this is what I want you guys to hear. Now, if you are a member of the Dr. Mike TV squad in any capacity, I love you. Okay? I love you. And y'all rock with Doc. If you rock with Doc in any capacity, I fuck with you. Right? But I promise you this, I'm going to have to disown you if you do this. All right? There's one thing that guys do. It's not all guys, but you hear guys doing and or saying this one thing about women, and first of all, it's cringy as fuck. But what makes it even worse is I cannot fathom any gentleman who follows the good doc saying something like this. So if you do say it, keep it to yourself. But there is one thing that I cannot stand. I don't care if your woman's Asian. I don't care if she's Indian. I don't care if she's Latina. I don't care if she's from the Western world or not. I will never in a million years call a woman my queen. Just saying that shit right now makes me really fucking upset. My mind cannot fathom the thought of any gentleman in this audience calling their woman their queen or some shit like that. And I don't know why it pisses me off as much as it does. It doesn't sound bad, but to me, it sounds all wrong. I cannot fathom the thought of a dude saying, oh, yeah, that's my queen and this, that, and the other. Because that right there is that pedestal type talk kind of shit that we can't have over here. Gentlemen, I love my young lady to death, but I have never called her my queen. Ever. Not a day in my life. I've never called her a goddess. I've never said any of that cringy shit ever in my life. And I pray that you never have either. Again, just hearing it, just me saying it makes me mad. Hearing it when I hear other people saying it, like, yo, what up, queen? Or how you doing, queen? Oh my God, what kind of fucking simp ass cringy shit are we about to hear come out of this motherfucker's house neck? It's bad, man. It's all bad. But but basically what I'm trying to say is, guys, we have to practice what we preach. Sometimes you have guys that will practice what they preach only when it comes to dealing with certain women. And I do not believe that to be fair, right? If you're going to be consistent, we got to be consistent across the board. If there's one thing that I do agree with some women in the West, when they say it, and I know this is a fucking shocker, but I already said it, but sometimes, you kind of feel as though you're willing to put up with anything as long as it's not the fact that you're dealing with a woman from a Western culture. You know, sometimes you're willing to put up with some shit that you otherwise wouldn't put up with a woman in the West just because she's not a woman in the West. But then again, that's not being consistent. Well, actually, you know what? You are being consistent. If you allowed a woman in the West to run over you and fuck you over and do all of this nonsense, I guess you are being consistent if you go abroad and allow a woman overseas to do the exact same thing to you. I mean, technically, you're being consistent in that regard, but your words are not matching your actions. And sometimes, gentlemen, we definitely have to hold ourselves accountable, right? You wouldn't do it for yourself, but if I saw one of my boys doing it, if any member of the crew that rock with Doc over here, if I seen you doing that shit, I'd probably have to tell you about it. Now, the way that I would approach it wouldn't be aggressive or angry or mad or like talking down to you, because we all fuck up, man. Players fuck up. I mean, the pussy is a back up. The punine is a powerful drug, ladies and gentlemen, and I will not, under any circumstances, deny that. But what I will say to you is this: sometimes guys go above and beyond when they don't have to. Sometimes they're so happy to be with their Filipina goddesses that they tend to lose part of themselves in the process. Why? Because she treats you maybe just a little bit better than the last chick you had. And I even made a video about this. It's almost like a lot of my videos are coming together. But for most guys, to an extent, it's like we're not used to being treated as good as most Filipinos treat foreign men. Let me say that again. We're not used to being treated as good as most Filipinos treat foreign men. Now you're gonna have some ones that are gonna try to cut up on you, give you the ass to kiss or whatever it may be. You're gonna have those moments. Hell, I think we've all been through it at least once or twice. And you've had to call a bitch out on her shit. I hope that you did. But because overall you're not used to the treatment that they give you in the West, when they start to cut up a little bit, you are hesitant to correct it. That's the best way for me to put it. It's not that you don't want to, you're just hesitant to do so. Sometimes you just feel it's in your best interest to let it slide. But every time you let it slide, guess what? She gonna keep pushing. She gonna keep pushing. She gonna keep pushing. She gonna keep pushing. And she's gonna keep pushing to see how far or how much ish she can actually get away with. And once she realizes that, she could toe the line and do all this extra shit, and you're not willing to correct the behavior when it happens. Well, guess what? She knows her limits, and when she knows she doesn't have any, you've just opened Pandora's box for her to walk all over you and shit on you. And guess what? She will probably be no different than the women that you probably dealt with in the West. I understand. And here's one thing that I do understand, though. And I know I'm jumping around, gentlemen. I'll get to the chat in a minute. But much love to y'all. 12 in the building. Make sure you drop this like. This is one thing that I've learned psychologically. Now, this may not apply to all men, but I do believe that it applies to a chosen few, right? Let's say you're from the West. Matter of fact, I will, no, matter of fact, fuck that. I'll talk about me. Talk about the good Doc. Let's do Doc real quick. Okay, so when I first got to the Philippines, guys, I was 17 years old. That's the first time I visited. When I first officially moved there, sorry, I was 18, right? 18 years of age. I did find myself attracted to women that reminded me of women that I knew in the West. Now, in fairness, for me, my dating prowess or my dating situations with women in the West up to the 18 years of my life or however long I was living there, I moved back home about fourth grade, from fourth grade to 12th grade. So about 8 years or so. My experiences dealing with women in the West was, mediocre at best. I mean, it wasn't so bad or like, oh my God, fuck these bitches. So it wasn't that my mindset wasn't so much on F these broads, forget these hoes, I don't want nothing to do with them. It was more or less that I knew girls back home that I liked body types, you know how it goes, body types, attitudes, and shit like that I was attracted to when I was in high school or whatever. Again, understand the young man's mindset. Transitioning my thought process to the Philippines, I was like, well, damn, let me find somebody that reminds me of home. Could have been a homesickness thing, could have been just trying to get myself and get my footing into, living abroad and shit like that. It could have been a whole bunch of things, a whole bunch of variables that could have led me to the idea of trying to understand what it was I was trying to figure out or trying to figure myself out or figure out what I wanted when I actually physically moved to the Philippines. So some guys, to an extent, find themselves unconsciously, is that right? Yeah, you're not thinking. You're psychologically, yeah. I think it's the unconscious mind. There you go. I don't want to say you're like in a coma or anything, but your unconscious mind, or you're not consciously thinking that this woman is reminding you of probably some of the better parts of a past relationship or a past girl that you dealt with in the West, but not necessarily the negative aspect of it. Also, sometimes you do find yourself attracted to women in the Philippines that may remind you of women in the West. Maybe it's an attitude, body type, or whatever it may be. Some guys actually find themselves attracted to them, or they find themselves not gearing themselves towards or gravitating towards women that remind them back home. So sometimes it's something you can't help, but other times you can't help. And this is one of the times that you need to help it. And with all that being said, like I said, got to keep them off the pedestal, man. Keep them on the footstool, keep them on the step stool. I mean, with a Filipina being what, 5'4", 5 foot average, most of the time you put them on a step stool, she's still not taller than you. So let's make sure that we keep them at level. Make sure that regardless of how you feel, gentlemen, selfishness and putting yourself first is definitely on point. I'm not saying treat your girl like shit now. I'm saying make sure that you don't allow them to get away with nonsense that you otherwise wouldn't put up with any other type of women. All right, it's kind of my little monologue, man. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You already know what it is, man. 14 in the building, man. I appreciate y'all locking in. Y'all know the rules, man. Y'all make sure y'all caress, but less and distress yourself all over that like button. It wants and it needs most definitely has to have it. Again, guys, if you want to support in any capacity, please feel free to do so. But of course, I'm happy and blessed you choose to come through, spend a little bit of time with your boy today. Now and then. All right, likes are free. Let's make sure we note that. Likes are free. Support, optional. Likes, mandatory. You feel me? So y'all make sure y'all lock in with me on that one. Let me shout out my brothers. Robert, what's good with you, man? Charles, appreciate you. If you're stuck in the car right now, my brother, hopefully this content will last you the duration of your trip. My man says, I'll just get a Thai girl. Yeah, sometimes it's not so much once you go Filipino, you never go back. Once you go Asian, you may stick to Asian. Maybe that should be the new mantra. We'll figure out how it goes. Shout out to my brother Mike. What's good with you, man? My man Trump one, what's up? He says, when you're in the Philippines, the foreigner is on a pedestal, but when she comes here to the United States or to a Western world, I believe that's what you mean. The roles are flipped. You bring her here, you best be confident and have a strong relationship. 100% agree with that. In any capacity, if you bring your girl with you wherever you're living, you got to be strong and you have to have faith. I believe it is a lot of faith that you got to have in your relationship. It's got to be strong, 100%. If you're weak minded or you easily get upset if you see guys looking at your girl, or you get upset if you see guys trying to talk to your girl, you want to run up and buck up and flex on somebody, because they're talking to your girl. It's going to be a hard road for you bringing them, especially to a place like the United States. It's going to be very, very tough because these guys have no chill. Being back home, you realize just how much no chill really actually means. They don't give a fuck if she's with you. They'll cat call on her if you want to. Depends on where you at, of course, man. It's not going to be all guys, but some guys just lack respect. And you know what's even sadder? Sometimes the guys that will hit on your girl the most are the people that are in your inner circle, your homeboys, your friends and shit, because they'll have the easier access, especially if you choose to bring her around when you go to hang out with events, which is why I have no friends. I love y'all. I fuck with y'all. And I know that y'all have respect for what I have with my young lady. But other than y'all, like people here where I live in the great state of North Carolina, shit, I don't hang around with these motherfuckers like that. Why? Because I don't trust them. I don't trust none of them. You can't. And it's sad to say, like I said, if you're not my blood and somebody that I've been around and known you since we was, younger or for at least a longer period of time, ain't no way in this world I'm gonna trust you around my girl. And again, that may be like, well, that's just, you gotta have confidence in your girl, man. You can't keep your girl in the house and shit. And of course, it's not so much about keeping her away from people. It's just the fact that if I don't fuck with you, don't expect me to bring my young lady around when, whatever we doing shit, because I don't like y'all like that. It's not so much that I don't trust my girl around y'all. It's just the fact that I just don't trust y'all, period. There's a big difference. It ain't got nothing to do with my trust in her. It has everything to do with how I don't fuck with y'all like that. So that's kind of been the vibe. And most of the time, like I said, man, me and my girl, we just spend time like when we together. We really don't go out at all anyway. So you won't see me out in the streets, man. Stay my ass at home. He said the good old saying, "Beauty is in the eye of the beholder." Bullshit. Ugly is ugly. Damn sure. Damn. Hey, no, gentlemen, back up now. Gentlemen will justify. Gentlemen will justify how much they like a female, or they will justify a reason to like her. For me, she can have a butter face, man. But if she packing some ass and titties, with all due respect, I might have to just say, fuck it, man. Put a plastic bag, not a plastic bag, because I don't want to kill her, but a paper bag. Pardon my language, man. But you know what it is. It's Sunday night, man. I don't know what's happening in the world today, live. But it is what it is. Give me a second, guys. I'm sending a message. But yeah, like I said, man, ugly is ugly, but gentlemen will find a way to justify it. And I think the justification only comes when you're trying to hit it, or when you're trying to find a reason to hit it, or when you're trying to find a way to justify to your boys, just in case they ever find out why you hit it. You got to be able to tell them the reason why you did it, right? God justify your reasoning, and if you could justify it enough, ladies and gentlemen, you just might be able to get away with it. But your boys will probably tell you the truth, like, bro, what the fuck was you thinking when you did that? You know what I mean? My man said she ain't hot, but she can shut the chrome off a bumper. Hey, man, some girls are blessed with some serious talents, man. And I think that those types of women should be applauded. You know what? I want to have a moment of silence real quick for all the girls who came through clutch. Let's talk. You know what? Let's be real. These are the unsung heroes right now that we're about to give some love to, man. Hold on. I got the glass tonight or the red solo cup. Don't ask me what's in the cup. Just know it's that purple drink. But let's stop the show for a second and make sure that we recognize the ones that came through clutch during our dry spells. Gentlemen, I don't know about y'all, but I think that every man is at least once in his life going through a dry spell, right? Maybe the desert nuts or the blue balls or whatever. I believe that we've all at least had that moment. Unless you look like Chris Brown or Jason Derulo or one of them dudes that can just get any bitch they want in the world, big fuck you. But unless you're one of them types of dudes, chances are you've had dry spells, right? So I want to make sure that I give love and respect to all the girls that have came through clutch in crunch time, right? The unsung heroes, the ones that help you get your rocks off when there was nobody else in your Rolodex to go through, man. When there was only one number left for you to call. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe even four, just before the lights. It'd be just before the sun comes up. That between 2 and 4 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? And you just had to get that nut, man. And you called that right number at that right time, and she won't doing shit. She was asleep, but she woke up out of sleep. She got herself together, at least good enough to be able to bring herself over to where you was at, and you got to wear it out. And then you sent her on her way. The unsung heroes, ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget them. All right, because they came through in the best of times and the worst of times. Okay, and like I said, they may not have been the prettiest. They may not have been the most attractive. I mean, I don't have it all my damn self. I've probably been somebody's booty call once or twice. I'll tell you that story another day. But but let's be real, man. They ain't the cutest. The ones that you probably don't look to call them unless it's 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when it's super dark and everybody's asleep. You got to make sure that you give these girls respect, y'all, right? Because they provided a service in the best of times and the worst of times, right? So you at least owe them a toast and a thank you, right? I'm not telling you to text them and say thank you. I mean, she was getting hers, you was getting yours, so I believe it was mutually beneficial. But in the meantime, in between time, when they come through clutch, I do believe that there is a level of respect you got to have for these young ladies, right? And that's all I want to say, man. I mean, with all due respect, man, you have got to make sure that you put some spec on their names. You don't have to call their name out, but everybody got at least one. If you don't have one, either you're married or something like that, or you in a long term relationship. Well, even if you're in a long term relationship, you probably still got somebody come through clutch for you. But I'm just saying, man, there's always one. There's always one. So make sure that you give respect where respect is due, and make sure that in your head you shout out the one that came through clutch for you. All right, shout out to my brother CJ, man. He says got to leave that Western mindset at home. Very true. Leave it in the West. That whole pedestal talk, my queen shit, keep that shit at the house. My man says, Jeff, you definitely can't fix ugly. Maybe turn off the lights and get it on. Hey, man, like I said, bro, we can always justify it, though. We may not be able to fix it, but we can always justify it. And those women deserve respect, okay? And when I say they deserve respect, I'm just basically saying, look, she came through in the worst of times. I know I said it. I'm gonna say it again. When they come through clutch for you in the worst of times, you owe her that a little bit. You owe her at least, good looking out, right? Roman says, "Thank you, Doc." He said, "Only a real queen or princess can be called that. That's just women wanting to look for subjects. That shit is so horrible and it's cringy as fuck, bro. I would never call a woman my queen. I would never ask or want a woman to call me her king. That shit sounds kind of weird to me, right? There are some guys. I just realized there are some guys who find it really cringy for a girl to call them daddy. I don't know. I'm not. It doesn't really affect me that much. But there are some guys. Like some guys are like dead ass serious. They're like, "Yo, I do not want my girl to call me daddy or poppy or some shit like that." I'm like, to me, it doesn't bother me, but my girl don't call me that. But there are some guys who love it and some guys who find it cringy, man. I don't know. So whatever it is for you, man, it is with you. But any girl who calls you queen, I mean, I'm sorry, any guy who calls a girl queen, you need to immediately eject yourself from this chat because that type of talk, man, I can't get behind it. I cannot. Mm, mm. Not happening, my boy. Not happening. My man says you just call them your submissives. Hey, that works too. Shout out to my brother Terrence. What's good with you, my brother? Doc's just trying to speak a little truth, man. At least from personal experiences and life lessons and all that shit. This pedestal talk, man, you got to keep them on that footstool, man. Keep the reality a reality. That's shout out to my boy Mike's Philippines journey. If you've been over on his channel, he's been covering some Raffy Toffel shit and a couple of scams and stuff that Filipinas are pulling on some of these guys. I've covered a million stories about scams too. But the beautiful thing about these stories is it's basically providing the best of examples for what I don't want you to do. A lot of these guys are praising these women to such crazy in the craziest of ways that it's leading them to sending them money blindly. It's crazy to think that a guy who's with a girl that he's never met, allegedly, never, is allegedly with this girl that he's never met, is sending money to a bitch he's never met. Hundreds of thousands of dollars to a girl he's never met. It baffles my mind. But then again, like I said, these women are not dumb. I don't give a fuck what you say. Everybody want to say, Filipinos come from a third world country. They can't outsmart me. Bullshit. Trust me. Any man can be outsmarted, right? It just depends on the situation and how they approach it, right? It may not be for a lot, but any man can get got. You feel me? Any man can get got. I've gotten got. I'm human. It's happened to me plenty of times. Enough times to know maybe I should just leave these bitches alone. That's exactly what happened. But again, I didn't get got for a lot. I got for enough though. But yeah, man, you just gotta be careful, man. You can't getting scammed out and shit. That shit weird, like crazy, man. Shit buggy. Shout out to my brother Lamont. What's good with you, man? He says I have no friends that will never bring my tenderoni to the United States. Hey, two rules of thumbs that if it works for you, my brother, you make sure you stick with it. Shout out to my man Izon. What's good with you, man? He says, I made up my mind. I'll be moving to the Philippines, just waiting for it to open. Oh, yeah. It's always in your best interest to move. As long as your money's together, you got your financials legit, a nice little place to stay, the rest of it will figure itself out. He says, one known fact, ugly women will tear you apart in the bedroom. Oh, yeah. Izon, don't do this to me, man, because you're going to make me reminisce on some serious, old times, man. Again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Let me make sure that I preface that. But yo, the one thing that I've noticed about women who may not think of themselves as attractive because in all actuality they're not attractive, if anybody gives them any attention, oh, it's on, man. It is on. That girl gonna give you the best she's got, especially if she's just not used to guys giving her attention. One of my rules of thumb, and I hate to say this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. with the exception of my young lady, who I love dearly, and I think is one of the most beautiful. Actually, she is the most beautiful woman in the world to me because she has to be. All right. With the exception of my young lady, if I, well, yes, that actually I didn't even have to say that. But if I'm going to deal with women in groups, right? I've noticed that pretty girls keep ugly girls around them to make them look prettier. We know that, right? But honestly, I always go for the girl that's the less attractive one in the group. If I was going to choose a girl in any group, I always go for the less attractive one. There's if the less let me preface this. Let me back up. If the less attractive young lady in the group has at least something to offer, right? If she's looking right in other areas, just not facially or whatever it may be, if she's looking right in all the other areas, definitely I go for her because she's not used to being hit on. As a matter of fact, it sometimes makes the other girls jealous because you're going for the one that's not necessarily the prettiest girl in the group. Sometimes I've noticed that female psychology is, oh my God, how is this guy, whether they believe I'm handsome or not, some of them think I'm ugly, they wouldn't care. But sometimes female psychology will look at you and be like, why is he talking to this girl when we know we look 1,000 times or 1,000% better than that female? You feel me? So you'll just have those moments. And for me, when it used to come to group settings, I always went for the girl that other guys would probably find to be the less attractive one. If I had to take one for the team, 9 times out of 10, I was cool with it. If I had to be the one to take one for the team, not cock block, but to prevent a cock block, I'd do it. And I do it with a badge of honor, man. That was me, just to help, help my boys out. But sometimes they be the ones that give you the best sex, bro. They do be giving you the best ones, man. Nah, them pretty ones, man, they can get real lazy, bro. It's not Boone's Farms pimping. It's something though. Mm, it's just that purple, my friend. It's just that purple. My man Terrence said, he said, super dark, bro. He said, cat's on point also. Bruh, it is. Mm, that's all I'm gonna say. I can't go into too many details about my past experiences. You never know who listening. Somebody be in the back, like, oh my god, what if it would be weird as fuck if a girl that I used to have relationships with found out that I had a YouTube channel, and then they hit me up talking about. I know you won't talking about me in the live stream, talking about I was ugly. You got some girls in the cut that be like that. And I do know there are I don't want to say quite a few, but there are some that may be aware of this particular channel. And yeah, whoo, that's a tough one. My man says most smoking hot girls know it and expect to be bowed to. True, but that is a lot of BS. True. The real honeys are hot but don't know it. I love that shit. When they don't know they're beautiful or they don't know that they're attractive. Oh my god, that is a man's wet dream. That's mine. That's my wet dream. Big pause. Let me pause on that one. But yeah, man, that's my wet dream, bro. Dealing with a young lady that does not know how beautiful she fucking is. Like when you compliment her, she is fucking like blushing, like she can't believe that you're actually complimenting her. The ones that don't know that they're beautiful are like my man said, the most beautiful ones. Crazy. I met maybe one or two girls, three, nah, I say a handful that didn't know that they were as attractive as they were. So when I talk to them, it's like, you really don't believe you're beautiful, do you? Like you blush or you turn your head away, or I know my man Mike knows all the psychological, signals and shit. He's good at read body language and reading too. But I think sometimes you can tell when a girl really just does not believe she's cute or she's attractive or that any man on earth would find them to be beautiful. Sometimes that comes from psychological torture. Maybe mom and dad told her she was ugly her whole life, and then somebody comes through and says, "You're beautiful." Oh my God. And bruh, bruh, you want to get them panties creaming and tell a girl who believes she was ugly her whole life that she's beautiful and say it like you mean it, you will get laid. It would be hard for me to see a situation where you don't get laid in that particular situation. Anywho, let me stop before I get in trouble. Anyway, 16 in the building, guys. I appreciate y'all locking in, man. Y'all know what to do. Y'all make sure y'all drop that like if you have not already. Y'all make sure y'all caress, molest, and distress yourself all over that like button. It wants, it needs, most definitely has to have it. Again, guys, if you guys want to support the good doc, please feel free to do so. But of course, happy and blessed y'all choose come through. Spend a little bit of time with the boy today. Now and then, business as usual. Hey, man, come on now. I got 11 likes, 18 people in the building, bruh. If you don't like the video, you can hit dislike. I'm not gonna be mad at you if you dislike the video, bruh. I can't see it, but if you don't like the video, you can't dislike. But I need to know you feel something. You know what I mean? I need to know y'all feel this. Uh, I really don't know the name. Is it Anon? I'm trying to fuck your shit up, man. My man says, where do you draw the line if she's being childish with all that tempo stuff? Oh, great question, brother. Great question. You know, that is a great question, but I can give you my honest answer. If it because tempo, depending on how it's been described so many different ways. It's crazy. Let me make sure I start with that. Tempo and all of that shit has been described in so many different ways. But if I had to generalize it, tempo usually comes in the form of a girl being super quiet and like moody and just huffing and puffing, and she's keeping to herself and she's just showing that she's mad and being childish, right? Or it could be a more violent way, or a more throwing stuff at you, or being hot tempered and yelling and stuff like that. So there's been at least on the basic broad scale, those have been the two ways that most guys have been able to describe what tempo is. If a girl wants to be moody and just I'm just angry and all that shit, if she wants to have that moment, I let her have her moment. I do one thing. I walk up to her. I said, look, clearly, love, you're mad at me. There's something wrong. If you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. But I promise you this, I'm only going to ask you what's wrong one time. You want to sit here, huff and puff and be all upset and all that shit? If that's what you want to do, that's perfectly fine. Because basically, you're doing me a favor by shutting the fuck up. You're really doing me the best of favors by not talking. So I'm going to at least try to put in an effort to figure out what it is that I did wrong. If this is a girl I actually care about, of course, I'm going to try to figure it out, love. If there's something wrong, please tell me. I'm only going to ask once, and I'm going to have a moment of silence. And if you don't start speaking, I'm going to walk away until you're ready, and then you can have this conversation with me later. But other than that, I'm only asking once. I'm not gonna be up in your face trying to figure this shit out all day. I don't have time for that. So if she doesn't talk to me there, I walk away. I go do my thing. She'll figure herself out when she's ready to talk. I draw the line at the violence part. I draw the line at hitting, throwing stuff, and yelling at me like I'm some child. No, thank you. That's where I draw the line at, right? That's where I draw the line. That's me needing to find a way to get myself out of the situation immediately and leaving that girl behind. Right? I gotta draw the line somewhere. Unless I've done something that is unforgivable by God Himself, there ain't no way in this world I should have to deal with that particular type of being. Right? There's no way in this world that I would ever put myself in a situation where I should ever have to deal with that shit. So that's probably about where I would draw the line at for myself. Now, if you're being childish and moody, let her be quiet. That'll probably be the only peace you'll ever get in your life. Anyways, love you. Anyway, like I said, I love my girl to death, but that's the best piece of my life when you ain't talking to me. If she want to be angry, let her be angry. But as far as like this the violent aspect of it, nah, you miss me with that shit. Charles, I appreciate you, brother. My man says I love Temple because they will leave you alone. Just ignore her. Then she takes a break. Then she breaks it. Oh yeah, Charles, that is the best part of my life. I said I love it when you ain't talking to me. The best part of my life, the best part of waking up. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna finish it. But y'all know what I mean. But bro, that was a great question, man. I appreciate it. He says off topic, but the next video lineup on YouTube is 3,000 budget myth. He said the next. Oh, that and didn't nobody put that video out? Wasn't that old buddy that made that video? I remember. Yeah, I think I saw that on my recommended videos. I never watched it, but I did see it come up as a video. That video's been out for a while, I think. This is back in the 80s. We called our girl Squeeze. Yeah, our main squeezes. Yeah, I know what you mean. He said we might as well learn from mistakes of others. Oh yeah, Mike. I fuck up all the time. I made mistakes. Fuck it. I don't care. My life don't stop. And shout out to my brother King. What's up with you, brother? Hey man, you ain't sent me no new music lately. I'm starting to feel away. Come on, buddy. I mean, I catch some of the videos over on IG from time to time, like when you post it on your stories, man. But I ain't seen no music lately. What's going on? I know pandemic got the world fucked up, but man, hey, don't stop dropping that music. He said the power of the Pooh man, can get any man taken. Please, please believe, man. Please believe. I've been fucked up not so many times, but I've been messed up enough to know maybe I need to just stop dealing with these hoes because we don't seem to be, correlated. We don't seem to be rocking like we supposed to. So yes, man, I've had my fair share of bad moments and I've had my fair share of fantastic moments. Either way, Doc lives his best life. Period. The Poo is the Poo even in the dark. You ain't never lied. Big Roy, what's up with you, my boy? Charles, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you locking in. But anyways, guys, like I was saying earlier, man, this whole pedestal talk, man, we gotta be careful with how we go about it, though. Gotta be real careful with how we choose to allow ourselves to be taken advantage of, even when it's not called for and or warranted. A lot of guys don't even know they're being taken advantage of, and I've said this in the video too. Damn, I'm just pulling content from videos I've made in the past. But one of my favorite videos that I ever made was a video where this girl was sharing with me some of the ways that they try to finesse foreign men. She didn't show up on the video. I begged her to a million times. I was like, please. I said, nobody even needs to know what you look like. I just think that it would be a very educational moment to my foreign men, if you want to come through and talk about it, right? But she was like, no, 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 no. I'll tell you everything and you can put it in the video. So she gave me the permission to put in the video. And the one thing that she said is that Filipinas will meet you wherever you are financially, right? A Filipina will meet you wherever you are financially if she's looking to, kind of finesse a little bit, right? When it comes to taking pictures, most guys, especially if they know that they're not going to see their girl for a long time, right? Or they know there's a high percentage chance that they'll never see this girl ever, right? They'll ask for pictures and shit, right? Okay, send me a video, send me some pictures, I'll send you some money. Seems to be a fair trade, right? So I think the girls sometimes ask, babe, how much can you send? Or, or a foreigner will tell her how much they would send her, right? $20, it ain't shit for most guys. $20 ain't shit, right? So because $20 isn't a lot of money to a guy for the most part, they'll be like, oh, I'll send like 1,000 pesos, which is roughly about $20, right? So 1,000 pesos, baby girl sends you what would be referred to as a picture package, right? If you said you was only sending $10, she would send you the $10 package. If you said you were only sending $20, she'll send you the $20 package. You see, mindset wise, these girls are geniuses. You act as if they're over here creating new pictures because you act like you're the first person that has ever asked them to take a picture. Absolutely not. So if I already have prepared picture packages based on the price that you are going to tell me that you can send me or that you're willing to send me, I'm winning because I already knew that you were either going to try to shortchange me by telling me, oh, babe, I can only send $10. Okay, babe, send me that $10. All right, you get this $10 package, which may be like 4 pictures. You know what I'm saying? Maybe show her little lady parts and shit, playing with her titties or whatever, whatever it is, right? Then you got the $20 package, which is probably 2 videos and maybe 8 pictures. You know what I'm saying? So you'll see how they custom build packages for that, and you'll notice that a lot of girls have done that a little bit more now than they probably done like in the past. But this was the game she was schooling me on when I first got into the country, and I was like, that's cool. I said, I'm not mad at you for making your money. And like I said, Filipinas, the smart ones, the geniuses, there's a rare breed out there. The geniuses, they'll meet you where you at. They will meet you wherever you are financially. Oh, you only can send 500 pesos? That's perfectly fine. Here's this little 500 peso package. You can only send 20? Okay. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you send a 50 and 100, maybe you get the Skype call. You feel me? Maybe you get the extras, the goodies and shit. But most Filipinos, they pretty much have put it in their head what they need to do to come out ahead. And when you recognize that, you're good. And like I said, when you're not concerned as a foreigner losing $10 or you're not concerned about losing $20 or whatever it may be, well, guess what? you're not concerned. It's not even a loss really because it's basically a fair exchange if she provides the pictures for the for the money that you send, right? So it is the fair exchange, or at least that's the agreed upon price or the agreed upon whatever you want to call it, agreed upon transaction. So you're not really losing anything. But when a girl will meet you where you at, that is a genius move, in my opinion, because now you've basically taken out the hard work part. I got these pictures already prepared. Yeah, we can talk on the phone, Skype if you want to. You know what I'm saying? I got to be able to. What's the best line that they be using? How they need to get some internet load or some shit like that. Or they got to pay their internet bill if you want to do a Skype call and all that shit. You know how it goes. You send a little extra couple thousand so that she can get her internet back on. Oh, the internet scam, Mike. We need to do the internet scam. I don't think either one of us have ever done the video about the internet scam. Has anybody done the internet scam yet? I'm trying to think of any foreign blogger that has talked about the internet scam. Maybe it came up in a video, but the internet scam is basically they'll tell you that you can't Skype call them or whatever because their internet's not working. So they need to pay like 2,200 for like their smart bro bill because their internet's been disconnected at home. Again, with Facebook Lite, you can send messages back and forth, right? So it's not as if you're really losing anything. It's just messaging. Now they can't send you pictures through Facebook Lite because it'll be charged towards their load, right? If they don't have Wi-Fi or internet. So for them to say, "Oh, my internet's not working, that's why I can't do Skype call and this stuff." Oh, if you send me some money to pay my internet, that's one of my favorite scams of all time. Because if you want to see them titties live and direct, you feel me? You gonna pay that money, right? So yeah, that's one of my favorite ones of all time. A lot of guys have probably been hit with that one. Maybe you haven't, but at least if you have not, if you don't know, now you know, people. Um. Anyways, my man Smooth says the Philippines needs to get ready for a large influx of single men in America if the wrong people get in the office. Nah, they just need to prepare for that whenever the country opens. That's my thing. They just need to go ahead and prepare for that when the country opens. He said, which one? He said they need an internet at home because their internet is slow on the phone. Yeah, it could come. It's pretty much the same thing. They just need somebody to pay their internet bill. That's the one, so that they can talk to them on Skype or talk to the foreigner on, a video chat and WhatsApp and all that shit. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever did a video like that. I don't believe I've ever done that one either. Anywho, but I'm glad if you have never been. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm kind of caught on my phone real quick because I was waiting to get a message. But anywho, like I said, man, that should be funny as hell, man. That should be some of the funniest stuff that you'll ever experience in your life. Again, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we have to be careful with how we talk about Filipinas in front of Filipinas too. It's okay, gentlemen. 100% okay for you to have a preference, right? 100% okay for you to say, I like my Filipinas, or I like my Thai women, I like my Vietnamese women, my Cambodian women, my women from Germany, my women from the UK, my women from Latin American countries, my Brazilians, my Dominican young ladies, my Colombianas. It's okay to have a preference, but I do believe that we have to keep that energy in check. There is legitly a problem with most foreigners, especially with guys that may not be the greatest in the dating arena, right? And this is where I hate to talk about it, but it is true to a certain extent. But like I said, if I'm gonna be fair, I got to be fair across the board, right? You have a lot of guys that'll be like, "Oh man, you guys are only traveling because you can't get women in the United States." For me and most of you guys, it's not so much that we can't get women here. It's just that most of the time we just don't want the women here. For most of us, but in some cases, let's be fair, there are a lot of guys who find dating in the United States to be difficult, a challenge, and the women that they want not necessarily looking for them. Yeah, it comes out that way. So as a result, they find themselves dealing with women where in these Latin American countries and Asian countries and stuff like that. So when that particular part comes about, not knowing how to deal with women in dating period, or maybe not having gone through situations where you can start to pick up on certain triggers and shit that will let you know that maybe this girl does not have the best intentions for you. Now all of a sudden that's when you find yourself in that downward spiral. And what I've noticed about guys who give money, unless they're being extorted, that's not funny, but unless they're being extorted, the only reason they continue to give and give and give and give and give is because they feel as though there's no other choice. I've already given so much now. If I'm going to continue getting what, or if I'm going to get what I need out of this, or if I ever stand a chance to get what I'm looking to get out of this, I have to keep giving in order to get to that end goal, not knowing that this giving is leading to probably nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So if you've had hard times dealing and dating before, I can see how those particular gentlemen will struggle dealing with foreign women, especially when you know that a foreign woman, a Filipina, Thai woman, Latin American, I'm sorry, not Latin, a Latina young lady, Hispanic, whatever it may be, when they can pick you out of a crowd and say, "Yo, that's the simp right there," and most of them can smell it on you. I hate to say it, they can smell it on us. Whenever you feel like when you in your simp mode, sometimes they smell it on you. But when they know that they can smell it on you, guess what? Guess who's in trouble? You. Because they're going to give you that attention you've never gotten in your life before. They're going to give you the attention that you would hope that you would have gotten from other women in your past, but because she is somewhat attractive or whatever it may be, guess what? She gonna give you that attention, and because you're so used to getting that, I'm not so used to it, but because you're not used to it, you're gonna naturally gravitate to her and give her whatever the fuck she wants. Psychologically, you may not pick up on the fact that she's using you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she give you a little bit of punani or whatnot, make you feel special or whatever. I don't know, suck a titty or some shit. I don't know what she'll do for you to keep you in check. She may not even give it up to you, but she'll find a way. Maybe she'll stroke your Johnson for you. I don't know, man. What do girls do when they don't want to give it up to you? Because they ain't giving you head. I'm sure they're not, sucking the chrome off that bumper. Maybe I don't know. Like I said, maybe grab a titty or something. Maybe she's letting you grab a titty or something. I don't know. But she's gonna do whatever she knows she has to do, at least the bare minimum, to keep you around and to keep the money flowing, gentlemen. I mean, men of abundance. Men of abundance. If you've never dated before and you've done pretty well with your money because you kind of just saved it because you never really had nobody to spend it on, you find that young lady, damn near your whole life story is gonna go to her. Like you hear about these Racky Tofel individuals sending hundreds of thousands of dollars, like, bruh. First of all, where the hell did you get $100,000 from? It's crazy, bruh. It's just crazy. Mm, mm-mm. Anyways, gentlemen, 20 in the building. I don't know where 20 of y'all came from, but I appreciate you locking in. If you haven't already dropped your like, man, don't play brand new. Y'all make sure y'all get that like in for me. Y'all make sure y'all caress, molest, and distress yourself all over that like button. It wants it, it needs it, most definitely has to have it. You guys want to support, please feel free to do so. But like I said, happy and blessed y'all choose to come through, spend a little bit of time with the boy today. Let's get it. My man Terrence says 41 years old, was messing with Western women for 25 plus years. Definitely time for a change. Shout out to my man Chaz. What's good with you, Charlie? Yes, change is always good. Change is definitely good. But Terrence, let me throw this little tidbit of information in there because you said it. You have 25 plus years of dealing with women in the West. That's the big difference between you and probably the gentlemen that we were talking about, or the ones that were aforementioned, the ones that don't have any dating experience. They grew up in it, but they didn't really date in it. You feel me? So because you have that experience, you know what you good with, you know what you're not good with, you know what you're willing to accept, what you're not willing to accept. And when you know that you have a standard, gentlemen, have standards. I don't need to tell you that. But when you know what your standards are and you're not willing to bend, fold, or break them for anybody, then you know you stand a better chance of weeding out the bad ones. You stand a better chance of weeding through the bad ones. Trust me, man, you're gonna probably have quite a few one-offs. I think it's a good thing for a lot of foreigners to have those one-offs, the ones that she just here to she just here to get the pipe, and that's it, and we good, and keep it pushing. Right? You're gonna have a couple of one-offs. Everybody should go through a couple of those, unless you're in a relationship or you found the one early on. Very rare that that happens, but if you're lucky enough to do that, respect, right? But most guys, you're gonna go through a couple of one-offs and shit. If you're looking for a relationship, you'll go through the one-offs, and you'll figure out which ones, behavior-wise, attitude-wise, fit your build. And then of course, the physical aesthetics. I don't think that you're just gonna deal with a girl that you wouldn't find to be attractive. It just seems counterintuitive or counterproductive to deal with a young lady that you do not physically find to be attractive in the first place. Like most of the time, you wouldn't give them the time of day. Like most women, if they ain't attracted to you physically, chances are they're not going to give you the time of day. You know, you can probably talk your way into the panties if you're funny or got a good build or whatever. But if you just are not attractive at all, baby girl, she probably just gonna brush your ass off. And that is what it is, pimpin'. That is what it is. Mr. K, what's good, man? He says dating success unrealistic for me. 62 years old, not rich, Simp juice history. We all have it, man. Don't worry about it. You're not the only one. American women, I have no chance. Must leave the U.S. Philippines and Filipinas are your paradise. Let me dissect that one for you, my brother. Just be careful when you deal with them women. Like I said earlier, man, it's easy to get caught up, especially if the juices were once upon a time flowing. For some reason, I don't think we ever get rid of it. It's just a question. It's a question. Is that the right word? It's a question when you push something down or smolder it or whatever the fuck the word is, right? Sometimes it's always within us, even if it is a part of our history. It's hard to get all them juices out of you, man. It's hard to sweat it out your body. But you just gotta be careful, man, because it's easy. When them girls start treating you right or treating you better than you've been treated in your life, I tell them all the time, man. Very, very easy to get caught up in that whirlwind. It's too easy. Like I said, it's happened to me. Chick said a couple of nice words to me, and I was ready to give her everything. I'm playing. But there have been moments where my interest has been piqued based on the simple fact that she was genuinely or seemingly genuinely nice. So just make sure that you keep that, smoldered down or pushed down deep, 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 so that whenever the situations come up, man, you're not falling back into the same ritualistic ways. Okay. But then again, you have the experience. I'm not rich either, but that really didn't affect the fact of, getting any. It was just, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. But I understand why the Philippines is paradise. Paradise for a lot of gentlemen in the chat. Paradise for me as well. So you gotta get it, where you fit in, man. That's the way I see it. I mean, you can usually make it work anywhere that you go, but sometimes you find that one place that makes it just a little bit more special. You feel me? And when you do that, or when you find that, I think that you should hold on to it. You should definitely hold on to that. All right. CJ, my brother. Any man that gets on you about taking a Filipino to McDonald's, just tell him to shut the fuck up, okay? Because those are the great, great, great first date places I've ever took any Filipino. Please believe McDonald's, Jollibee, KFC, those are good. McDonald's, Jollibee, KFC, Mang Inasal, even Greenwich, those are dope spots, man. They're cheap as hell. Filipinos can get their fill. It's dope, right? There's no way in this. If a dude calls you a simp for treating a girl out to something to eat, bruh, little do they know that that is the easiest way to get into some panties, my boy. Put some food on a Filipino stomach after she fit. Ladies, don't take this the wrong way, but you feed them well. They're usually more acquiescent to your whims. Like I said, man, they're usually very acquiescent to the whims. A full Filipina is a happy Filipina. They happiest when they're full, man. Put some food on their stomach, man. Kind of think that usually that kind of gets you leaning towards the right direction. Now you ask the leading questions. You definitely have to make sure your transition is good. You want to come hang out with me. You feel me? Want to come hang out with me? Come kick it back. We can Netflix and chill. There was a movie I found on Netflix. I thought that you would like to watch. We can go watch it back in my place if you want to. Usually, it's very rare. It is very rare. Because some guys like to be blunt. Yo, let's go back to my place so I can smash. Let's go back so I can fuck. And let's go back and do this. Right? I appreciate the honesty. Doesn't always work, right? But usually, if you invite a Filipina back to your place or anywhere, like I said, most times we don't recommend back to your specific living quarters. But if you invite a young lady back to your place, 99.9% of the time, they pretty much know what's about to go down, right? I think it's very rare that you invite a Filipina back to your place or wherever you're staying at or wherever you want to take her, invite her somewhere that allows you to be alone with her and she not understand that y'all about to get it in. It's very rare. I think nobody's that stupid, right? Look, I'm trying to be alone with you. Why would I be asking to be alone with you if there wasn't something that I was trying to accomplish? So if they say yes, chances are you can almost dependent. I don't want to say it's guaranteed, but you can almost put a guarantee on it that chances are she's pretty much open to the idea of. You know what I'm saying? She's pretty much open to that. He said, like Mike says, difference with men with unsuccessful dating history. Oh yeah, the way I mean, your whole thought process. Again, Mr. K, it's about the experience, man. If you've had bad experiences dating in the West, chances are you need to change, right? Everybody needs a good switch up every now and again. Shout out to Maximus. What's up, man? He says, I think the simp has been beaten out of me severely. Well, sorry for the violence that it took to get it out of you, but it's good that it no longer exists. And that way, it's a fresh start. A lot of people don't understand, but like moving abroad, even moving to a different state sometimes is like a way of reinventing yourself. It's crazy, right? Because nobody knows you and you can be who you feel you are for real, for real. Like if you like growing up in a neighborhood or something like that, if you grew up in the same area, people known you since you was a kid, and you grow up in that lifestyle or grow up in that environment, they know you. Oh, that's just Mike over there. Mike ain't about shit, or Mike ain't gonna do nothing. Mike ain't gonna do this. Mike ain't gonna do that, right? So you have a couple of guys who be like that, right? But when you move, like especially overseas, it's a whole different landscape. Like my man said, at that particular moment in time, now you're pretty much the one that's put on the pedestal. That's what they told me earlier. Usually the foreigner has that pedestal like treatment, right? When you're over in the Philippines. But bring them to the United States. Sometimes the roles are reversed. Could be, depending. Um, so yeah, even when you go over there, don't expect. I mean, I don't want you to expect that you're gonna always get the rock star treatment from everybody, but and sometimes when they treat you like a rock star, they're just trying to get you to spend money. So got to be careful with some of the reasons why they do give you this certain treatment. But overall, it's just a matter of, you know, taking it day by day. You know what I'm saying? If you got time, don't rush it. Please don't rush it. Enjoy your best life, man. See what really works for you. It may take talking to a couple of girls before you realize, all right, man, maybe it won't be a bad idea to settle down with a young lady here. You know, maybe not. He said invited to the Sogo. So good, so clean, so go. Bro, so go dirty as so bruh. Bruh. I find it very difficult to invite a girl to a fuck hotel. Like, yeah, I'm staying at the Sogo. Like, why are you staying at the Sogo for? Don't ask, don't tell, love. Do not ask, I will not tell. It is not Apple Crown, my friends. This is actually non-alcoholic, so it's no alcohol in here, man. I gotta get up in the morning and deal with these ignorants, so I gotta actually be on my best behavior, not my worst. So this is just something with no alcohol in it, man. So no twist tonight, man. Mm, it's damn good, whatever it is. All right, but anywho, like I was saying, that's just what I wanted to tell you guys tonight, man. Be careful with how you put them on a pedestal, gentlemen. It could definitely lead to some serious, serious, serious issues that I do not want you to have to go through. You know, my man says the Go Hotel is way cleaner. I've heard about that one. Nah, man, I'm high school, bro. I do high school right now. So yeah, I deal with the people who are on their way to trying to figure out the next level and steps of their life. I will never do middle school. I will never do elementary. I can't stand kids, bro. Them kids be needy as hell. No mas for me. I do high school teaching right now. But yeah. Um oh, high school, yeah. I teach a CTE course. So I get all grades from 9 through 12. So I don't have a specific grade. So just anybody from 9 through 12. But yeah. That's life. Anywho, any comments, questions, concerns, anything that you want to put on the chat before we leave, man? I'm gonna go ahead and give my little spiel. Shout out to all the people who show love to Good Doc, and I'm gonna let y'all go on about your business. All right. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta shout out my silent partners, man. Gotta shout out the silent partners. I try my best to make sure that I don't miss you guys at all. All right. To the gentlemen and ladies who choose to just come through and listen, prayerfully they enjoy the show long enough to stay around. Thank you. Ryan, I don't know exactly what in the world you're doing that you have me on in the background listening to me, but just know that I love you and just know that I see you without seeing you because I don't want you to be freaked out. I might be under the bed. No, I'm playing. Anyways, but thank you guys. Thank you for checking me out. Thank you for just liking the videos, man, and just listening to me conversate, man. Hopefully, you guys, ladies, learn something, or you're just here for the entertainment purposes because you already know everything, right? I appreciate you. I do. My channel does not exist without you guys, right? To all of my members of the chat, man, the ones who definitely participate and prolong the conversation and give me things to talk about or ask the leading questions or the hard questions that put me in a mode to actually put forth a thought process and what I'm saying. I thank you guys. Thank you guys for challenging me to at least provide you guys with the best possible content that I can. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Do I fuck up? Absolutely so. Do I care? Absolutely not. Right? As long as y'all love me, I'm gonna love y'all, man. And as long as you continue to rock with me, I'm gonna rock with you. As long as you continue to show the fuck up every day, I promise you I'll give you the best possible content that I could possibly shell out. Right? 2022, ladies and gentlemen, we're definitely gonna try to bring some new shit to the channel, man. Just give me time to work it out, figure it out. And yeah, man, I promise I'll do my best to give you guys the shit that you most definitely need. All right. Again, comments, questions, concerns, man, you can email me, MikeThePIGuide@gmail.com. Got any questions or anything about a video that you want me to put out? I'll try my best to go ahead and knock it out for you guys. All right. Hope you guys are enjoying the shorts. Just having a little bit of fun with those, man. Business as usual tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. You'll get your YouTube short question of the day. It should be a good one. Let me see what the question of the day was. I filmed it just the other day. I forgot who asked it, but I think it's a decent. Let me see. Let me find out what the question of the day is for tomorrow, so I can see if it's a good one. They're usually always pretty good, but you know, y'all keep the questions coming though, man. Dead ass, y'all. I'm really loving answering these questions because you guys definitely make it fun. All right, so let's see. The question of the day tomorrow. Okay, that was pretty decent. I got a video coming out tomorrow for you guys as well. So you'll get a question of the day. Plus, I'll drop a video for you guys later on at about 6 p.m. All right, it's a throwback vid, so it's gonna be a doozy. Definitely, man. It's one of my favorite. This was one of my favorite videos that I ever made. I never really get a chance to get back to this one, but I'm glad that I'm able to share it with you guys coming up. All right. But thank you very much, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the day. I'm gonna stay strong, brother. Trump, appreciate you. I mean, oh, the Go Hotel. I've never stayed in those. I actually like Red Doors, and I like those aren't cheap hotels, but Red Doors and shit. What's the other one? I forgot. They're all over the place. What is that hotel? Fuck. I forgot. Anyways, couple of my favorite little hotel spots whenever I have to stay in hotels. I'll figure it out if I remember. But ladies and gentlemen, man, you know what time it is. Time for the good doctor. Go and get the getting. Red Planet. There you go, Maximus. Thank you. Damn, I was slow as hell. That's the one I actually enjoy though. They're pretty fucking clean. Like for the price, they're really pretty decent. I like Red Planet. That's the one. That's the one I like. I'm not gonna say that I prefer it. I think Red Doors is cheaper than Red Planet, but anywho, Red Planet is definitely a nicer, more affordable hotel from what I can remember. I don't know what the prices are now. Haven't been back in a couple of years. But anywho, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate the time, appreciate the effort, appreciate the energy. Y'all know what time it is. Time for the good doctor to go and get the getting. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the good doctor is officially out. At least knuckle, which means I am going now. Bye bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Makita. Bye bye. Peace.